Good evening and welcome to the Evening News for Wednesday, November 26, 2014. I'm Petrly Santos. Thank you for joining us. Making your headlines this evening, Cabinet to take action to curb road accidents and fatalities. Teenager chopped to death at Myconi. Counterfeit products a major health problem. Man gets 83 years for murdering wife, and Guyanese arrested in Puerto Rico with $620,000 in cash. And the Coker breached caused massive flooding in Allboys Town. And now for the news in detail. Vanu Manig-Chand now reports that Cabinet is very concerned over the increasing number of road accidents and fatalities occurring and will be taking tougher actions to address the situation.
With road accidents and fatalities at its highest number ever, government is looking at implementing several measures, including legislative reforms, to address the matter which pedestrians are mostly affected. Cabinet Secretary Dr. Roger Luncheon on Wednesday told reporters that Cabinet is very much alarmed by the tragic events on the country's roadways. He noted that the statistics have revealed how dangerous roadways are becoming compared to previous years, while pointing out that speeding and drunk driving are the main contributing factors.
There is no doubt, and this was Cabinet's contention, there was no doubt that there were more vehicles on the road, there were more drivers on the road, and traffic infractions were all increasing and playing a role in this depressing situation. Even more, Cabinet was counseled was the fact that the PPP Civic Road Program, an ambitious program that has seen billions of dollars spent in 2014 for road rehabilitation, that also contributed to playing a role, or it thought to be playing a role, in these alarming statistics.
Dr. Luncheon went on to say that Cabinet has endorsed the recommendations made by the subcommittee which was examining the issue. He disclosed that those recommendations included increasing sensitization and awareness campaigns and the increase of traffic ranks on the roadways. Another recommendation the Cabinet is supporting is legislative reforms on traffic offences.
This is going back to Parliament and enacting legislation, definitely making it more easy or easier to prosecute, and perhaps in defining newer forms, newer offenses under the road traffic extant legislation.
The police recently disclosed that at the end of October, an alarming 33% increase in road fatalities was recorded. That is 113 deaths from 104 accidents. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manig-Chand.
Counterfeit products remain a major problem, Director of the Government Analyst, Food and Drug Department, Marlon Cole, contended as he addressed the substandard, spurious, falsely labeled, falsified counterfeit conference. Here is more from Svetlana Marshall.
Drug importers and other stakeholders were today brought up to date on the negative impacts of substandard, falsely labeled, falsified and counterfeit drugs, medical devices and cosmetics. According to the Director of the Government Food and Drug Department, Marlon Cole, these substandard and counterfeit products remain a major cause for concern as they continue to flood the local market.
My personal experience, patient X said to me, I used 2 metformin 500 milligram tabs, and then I changed the brand and found that 2 is too strong for me, or was too strong for me. I started to use 1 only and got good results. So from 2 to 1. Clearly, when you use it 2, the active ingredients might not have been sufficient. And there is it, you would get an idea of products being substandard in our market.
Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization country representative Dr. William Adu Crow said these substandard and counterfeit drugs and cosmetics can result in major health implications.
This lady goes to buy hair products, thinking that it's going to make her hair grow. And obviously, I think she probably bought the cheaper ones. And then the next day, she realized that all the hair were falling apart. I think it is a major issue, and it's something that we need to be very mindful of.
He added these illegalities can also result in inaccurate diagnosis and treatment, in addition to unwarranted expense. During the one-day conference, which was held at the Car Lodge Hotel, Kwamina Street, participants benefited from the expertise of PAHO WHO expert Maximiliano Dereco, who is specialized in the detection of falsified and counterfeit products. Participants were also edified on strategic systems that have been implemented in other parts of the world, such as Argentina, to combat these illegalities.
Pandemonium broke out last evening among residents of Alboystown, Georgetown, when their homes became inundated underwater owing to a breakage in the coker at Sussex Street. Here's Alexis Rodney.
That was the scene Tuesday evening at the Sussex Street coker, where residents of Alboystown, who during their boisterous protest blamed the Public Works Ministry for the mishap. The breach of the coker door caused massive flooding in the community, leaving residents counting their losses. Residents told the Evening News at the scene that they are at their wits' end with the level of attention the community is receiving from government.
Robson Ben, Ramatar, nobody's coming, no time at all. We are humans living in Alboystown. You go now and see what's happening in Alboystown. Go now. They're saying on an 11 that we had medical outreach. There was no medics, nothing in Alboystown up to today, Tuesday. Somebody help us.
Coupled with the rise in water in their homes, residents were also deeply concerned over possible high tide predictions. When the Evening News arrived at the scene, the mayor and the city council's engineer, with assistance from the Public Works Ministry, was already at work. Deputy Mayor Patricia Chase Green, who was also at the scene, told the Evening News that she became aware of the situation earlier in the afternoon.
I informed the city engineer, who said he had just received the same call and he's leaving immediately for the site. I came after him. We found that the water was gushing in and it was much higher than it is right now. And it is alleged that someone probably tampered with the lock, removed the locks and opened the door. We were able to get the long haul to close the door to some extent. But as you would recognize, there's some amount of water still gushing in.
According to him, members of the city constabulary will be launching an investigation. The flooding in Alboystown comes weeks after a similar situation occurred on the east bank of the Marara. Early last month, officials from the Public Works Ministry were forced to replace a new sluice door on the coker, which services the Peters Hall and Providence neighborhood. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
A Guyanese national has been arrested by United States law enforcement authorities after a large sum of money was found on a private plane last weekend in Puerto Rico. Here is Bisham Mohammed with the details.
Kemra Jalal was detained on November 22 after $620,000 was found on the plane, which was en route to Guyana but stopped briefly to refuel. During the stop, it was discovered that there were some irregularities concerning the aircraft and as such was grounded by the United States law enforcement authorities. While on the ground, custom officers asked the detainee to report how much cash he was carrying. However, Lal, who was traveling with his father and the pilot of the aircraft, initially reported only $5,000 between him and his father, but later said the two had $12,000. On close inspection of the plane, officers found $150,000 first wrapped in plastic bags and a blanket under an exit seat. As the search continued, several black garbage bags with the other $470,000 were found in a compartment near to the engine. The Guyanese pilot and businessman admitted that all the money was his and that his father knew nothing of it. Judge Marcos Lopez, through a request from the U.S. Federation Agency, issued an arrest warrant for Lal. Lal is also the owner of KLX Logistics Incorporated, located in Jersey City, USA, which offered trucking and warehouse services and was operational from 1995 to 2010. In Guyana, however, the businessman owns a gas station at Coverdale East Bank Demerara, as well as a limousine service. Lal also operates a courier service out of the Chedi Jagan International Airport to Mary East Bank Demerara. Bashar Mohammed, The Evening News.
A teenager is now in police custody after he confessed to murdering one of his friends during an argument on Monday evening at Hyde Park, Maikoni, East Coast, Demerara. Dead is 19-year-old Niraj Michael, also called Bucky, of Campaign, Maikoni, East Coast, Demerara. He was reportedly chopped several times to his head and thrown into the Maikoni River by the suspect, who fled the scene. According to information received, the now dead man and a few of his friends were at a function at Hyde Park, Maikoni on Monday evening, during which an argument ensued. As a result, they subsequently left the function. As they were crossing the river in a boat, another argument started between the now dead man and the suspect, during which the suspect reportedly collected a cutlass and dealt Michael several chops to his head. He then threw the injured man into the river. The suspect was later arrested and taken into police custody, and he took the police to the spot where the incident took place. A search for the body at that time proved futile. However, Michael's body was subsequently pulled from the river on Wednesday morning and taken to the Lycan Funeral Parlor, where it awaits a post-mortem examination. Stay with us, more of the evening news after these messages. Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Local Government Minister Norman Whitaker says Cabinet has approved some $11 million to assist residents of Providence and Peters Hall on the east bank of Demerara who were recently affected by floods recently in that area. Here is more from Alexis Rodney.
Whitaker, speaking to the Evening News via telephone today, said as promised, residents will receive some form of assistance from government. In early October, a breakage and collapse of the coker owned by the Guyana Sugar Corporation found residents of Providence and Peters Hall accounting for their losses. Many household appliances and furniture were destroyed. Whitaker told the Evening News that the relief has been divided into 3 categories, ranging from least to the most affected. He related that affected homeowners will be assisted by the Public Works Ministry by a waiver of their rates and taxes. Tenants, on the other hand, have an option to say what they would prefer. According to the minister, officials of the ministry are currently carrying out this exercise in the 2 communities. Days after their homes were submerged in water, residents of the 2 communities were promised by the local government minister that they would receive some amount of relief for the damages incurred on their household items. Collectively, residents had reported millions of dollars in losses. For the Evening News, Alexis Rodney.
24-year-old Michael Anthony Prasad was today sentenced to 83 years imprisonment after he was found guilty of killing his wife, Madhuri Padumdio, called Sharda, in December of 2011 at their Sophia home. The trial began on Monday, during which Senior State Counsel Judith Mirsaleen Gildari presented 9 witnesses, including the couple's employer, Chandrapal, who Prasad claimed had sexually assaulted him. However, the Cane-Juice businessman testified that he and the deceased had an affair. Chandrapal further told the court that after the couple did not show up for work on December 23, he went to her home where he found the couple lying on a bed. He said that a piece of electrical cord was wrapped around the woman's neck and Prasad was lying next to her, awake. Meanwhile, the landlady also testified that she saw the deceased screaming for help as Prasad dragged her into the apartment. After the jury returned with a unanimous verdict, Prasad requested the court to be merciful in his sentencing. However, before handing down the sentence, Justice Navendra Singh pointed out that he showed no remorse for his actions. Following statements made by the Caribbean Airlines security official on Monday, Chairman of the Chedi Jagan International Airport, Ramesh Duku, said though all agencies involved worked closely and tirelessly, for some employees the rewards outweigh the risk. Here's more from Samantha Lane.
Ramesh Duku has defended statements made by CAL security official Wilfred McIntyre on Monday at a workshop, stating that he would not question the statements based on McIntyre's credibility. McIntyre had stated that 98.6% of crimes committed on international airports are done in collusion with staff. Duku disclosed that this meant the problem lies in the fact that the rewards outweigh the risk for most employees, who may find the cash incentives for assisting in drug trafficking and other related offenses attractive. Duku said that though the problems faced at Guyana's airports are not unfamiliar to any other airports, the CJIA is currently working on improving security. On a daily basis, security at the main international airport is manned by various agencies, including the Guyana Police Force, Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit CANU, customs officials, and private security firms. He further stated that the management of the CJIA is currently in the process of reviewing contracts with private security firms, as well as upgrading equipment to deal with security lapses, as they recognize the need to improve this particular service due to breaches that may have taken place in the past. Recently, Guyanese pilot Kemraj Lal and 2 other Guyanese were apprehended at a Puerto Rican airport with more than $600,000 in cash after they stopped for a routine refuel. Though the flight had not originated out of the Chetty Jagan International Airport, Lal operates a private courier service from Temeri. In light of this development, Duku said that they are currently working on increasing security at private airlines operating within the realm of the Chetty Jagan International Airport, as well as implementing more stringent procedures for the exportation of fruits and vegetables. Duku credited recent busts at the airport to the closely knit relationship between all stakeholders and urged that security is an ongoing process. The chairman also admitted that more needs to be done to strengthen the security at the airport, and as such, the main port of entry is currently in the process of acquiring sniffer dogs to aid in the fight against the narco trade. For the Evening News, Samantha Lane.
In this report, we hear that the head of the Presidential Secretariat, Dr. Roger Luncheon, said that the Ombudsman acted out of remit in the NBS matter.
Dr. Luncheon told media operatives on Wednesday that Ombudsman Justice Winston Moore seems to be ignoring the principle of sub judice in his probe of the $69 million NBS fraud involving former CEO Maurice Arjun. Speaking at the post-cabinet briefing, Dr. Luncheon explained the fact that the Ombudsman claimed that the report was leaked takes away from the entire issue of him intervening in a matter that is being engaged in the courts.
An investigation by the Ombudsman of a matter that is sub judice, to me, as unlearned as I am, seems to be begging the question whether the Ombudsman ignored or disregarded the principle how you got involved in this matter if it was sub judice. This is my concern.
The cabinet secretary went on to say that if he was in the ombudsman's position, he would have informed the complainants of the implications with the matter still in court.
I probably would have drawn to the attention of the complainant that this matter is being heard in the High Court, and this same principle would prevent me from being involved in a comprehensive investigation, the kind of which the Ombudsman did.
As it relates to Senior Counsel Ashton Chase's letter to the Office of the President, Dr. Luncheon pointed out that the correspondent does not warrant a response, but was to raise concerns of his clients. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchan.
The police have launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting incident on Tuesday evening at Turning Point, Tuckville, Georgetown, which has left one man hospitalized. Randy Welsh, 34, of Diamond New Housing Scheme East Bank, Demerara, was shot to his right foot by 2 men, one of whom was armed with a firearm. According to information, Welsh was at the popular drinking spot where he was confronted by the two, during which an argument ensued. During the hard talk, one of the men whipped out a gun from his waist and discharged a round, hitting Welsh in the process. The injured man was rushed to the George Young Public Hospital, where he was listed as stable. No arrest has been made. Stay with us. You're watching the Evening News. Welcome back. Head of the Mental Health Unit of the George Young Public Hospital, Dr. Biro Kant, today disclosed that the National Mental Health Strategy draft is complete and should be finished by the end of the year. The details in this report.
We have been able to complete the draft, the final draft of a national mental health strategy and of a national suicide prevention plan.
That was Dr. Biro Hari during an exclusive interview with the Evening News at his office at the Georgetown Public Hospital this morning. He noted that the final draft is expected to be completed before the end of the year. On Wednesday last, a large stakeholders meeting was held, thus putting the ministry one step closer to the finalization of the drafted document.
From this stakeholders meeting, we are very close now to finalization of these documents and to its launching. And if all goes as planned, we should be able to have our final documents before the year is out.
The national strategy is expected to be launched in February of 2015 and will be implemented until 2020. Dr. Hari also accepted partial blame in the poor education concerning mental health illness. He had indicated before that Guyana has been suffering because there is no strong backend for mental health, particularly where human and financial resources are concerned. Nevertheless, he noted that this national plan will provide the authority and facility to roll out the various schemes in addressing this scourge. Royden James reporting for Evening News.
Royden James now reports that the Health Ministry continues to work towards strengthening the capacity of its medical staff and allow for a better quality of care for its people. Professor Meena Singh of York University, Canada, is currently assisting in the training of nursing tutors. Here's more in this report.
20 tutors in various remote areas in Guyana have been trained via Skype in several key areas so that they can impart their knowledge to their students. The main focus areas include philosophy of teaching and learning, development of teaching guides, and measurement and evaluation. This became a reality after Dr. Meena Singh contended that a major factor that contributed to the low pass rates at the public nursing institutions is the manner in which the curriculum is administered. Professor Singh is currently facilitating intensive workshops which began on Wednesday last. In addition, between November 24 and 25, a 2-day workshop for nursing tutors attached to the Georgetown and New Amsterdam nursing schools was held. The training will continue today and tomorrow for tutors from the Lyndon and Charles Rosa School of Nursing. Dr. Singh has also made a substantial donation of updated textbooks as well as human autonomy mannequins for the nursing schools, valued at over 20,000 Canadian dollars. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Barry Ramsaran said that his ministry had realized the shortcomings at the medical institutions and as such contacted Dr. Singh and a team from the Pan American Health Organization to facilitate that much needed training. The training will continue over a period of time. Royden James reporting for the Evening News.
The Guyana Police Force is investigating the circumstances under which 2 sets of Guyanese nationals were victims of trafficking in persons in neighboring Suriname. The 5 Guyanese recently returned after they had been recruited from Amerindian communities to work on farms in that country. In Suriname, they were placed to live under harsh conditions with limited food. They were forced to work for long hours and were not paid for their services. The Guyana Embassy in Suriname informed the Surinamese authorities, and upon the return of the affected persons, they provided information to the Guyanese authorities, which led to the commencement of investigations. The Guyana Police Force is alerting members of the Guyanese society to be cautious when they are considering similar job offers. The Guyana Water Incorporated has made the decision to carry out its disconnection campaign after various methods of encouraging some customers to settle arrears have failed. Here is Erica Williams with the details.
GWI's customer service manager, Jeanette Thomas, in a press statement said there was a significant response to the company's free pass promotion, during which disconnected customers were offered free reconnection. However, Despite exhausting various methods to appeal to customers countrywide to settle their arrears, GWI said some customers continue to refuse to do so. When disconnected, these customers will have to reapply for a new service and pay the full installation cost. Due to the vast amount of persons scheduled for disconnection, there is no guarantee that those who get disconnected will be reconnected in time for the holidays. GWI said it has utilized the full scope of its free pass promotion, sent reminder letters to customers and businesses, executed public announcements, all of which has turned up futile. In addition, GWI's utility enforcement unit has been beefed up and staffers will be on the lookout countrywide for persons who have illegally reconnected their water. GWI continued to plead to customers to settle their accounts and stated that the disconnection is a last resort the company has decided to take. Reporting for the evening news, I'm Erica Williams.
Stay with us. Your regional news is next. Welcome back, and now for some news in the region. Regionally, the British Royal Navy says it has dealt a blow to smugglers after seizing more than 850 kilograms of cocaine in a high-speed chase across the Caribbean. The Royal Navy said it was the third drug bust for the HMS Argyle in as many months, with this latest haul having a wholesale value of £36 million. It said that the HMS Argyle has now seized 1,600 kilograms of cocaine with a combined value of more than £68 million. The Royal Navy said the HMS Argyle apprehended the suspected vessel after being alerted by a U.S. Customs aircraft. During a high-speed chase, smugglers began to throw their illegal cargo overboard, but the warship used high-tech radar to guide small patrol boats which surrounded the smugglers and forced them to surrender. And internationally, the family of Michael Brown, the black teenager shot dead by a policeman, says they are crushed by the grand jury's decision not to charge Darren Wilson. Brown's father told NBC News his son's character has been crucified. Separately, Brown's mother said Wilson had been disrespectful. Wilson, who shot Brown dead in Ferguson, Missouri in August, had told U.S. media he has a clear conscience. There were protests over the ruling in 13 U.S. cities on Tuesday night. In Ferguson, there was some unrest as protesters scuffled with police, and a police car outside the town hall was set alight. However, police said security was much better than Monday, when there was widespread rioting and looting, and more than a dozen buildings were set alight. About 2,000 National Guard troops were deployed to the city on Tuesday night. 44 people were arrested. Here now are your bridge reports. The Demerara Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed at 8 hours 30 on Thursday, November 27 for a period of 1.5 hours. And the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 7 hours 25 on Thursday, November 27 for a period of 1.5 hours. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Every day presents a few more challenges. Keeping your business running shouldn't be one of them. That's why we work every day towards ensuring your overall satisfaction. With over 100 skilled technicians and engineers equipped with the tools and skills to help you do more. With the largest parts inventory in Guyana, over 10,000 line items readily available. Driven by your success is not just a set of words to us. It is a code by which we live. That is why we are proud to say that we are Bridge.
Welcome back, and now for a look at your sport headlines. The GRFU shows appreciation to sponsors. Several teams win in the latest round of the Guinness Football, and Trio replaces West Indies players in Guyana Jaguars squad. This segment of sport is sponsored by MacCorp.
Every day presents a few more challenges. Keeping your business running shouldn't be one of them. That's why we work every day towards ensuring your overall satisfaction. With over 100 skilled technicians and engineers equipped with the tools and skills to help you do more. With the largest parts inventory in Guyana, over 10,000 line items readily available. Driven by your success is not just a set of words to us. It is a code by which we live. That is why we are proud to say that we are Brit.
In an act of benevolence, the Guyana Rugby Football Union on Tuesday evening thanked its sponsors in a major way with an appreciation ceremony at the Pegasus Hotel. Here is more from Tristan Joseph.
In a relaxed and cool atmosphere, the various sponsors were able to meet and greet the players, as well as wish them well for the upcoming North American and Caribbean Association Sevens Rugby Tournament scheduled for Mexico in December. Marketing Director of Edward B. Bihari Group of Companies and Julie Bihari Strand, who visited the players at training, explained the effect of what she saw from the team.
I was able and honored to witness their rehearsal, their training, and I saw determination, I saw passion, I saw such strength and just such a great deal of love for what they do, and it makes handing over a check to these gentlemen so worth it.
President of the Guyana Olympic Association, K.A. Juman Yassin, was thrilled to see the confidence of the team, but warned against complacency.
Do not believe that because you have done so well in the past, it is automatic that you will do well again. You have to work for it, you have to earn it. And complacency in sports is a factor that could bring defeat. So I just want to caution you, it's good to be confident.
President of the GRFU, Peter Green, thanked all of the sponsors and revealed the driving force behind the team's passion to win.
They're going over there with a mission. A mission to wipe off ugly spot in our history that happened last year. They're going there to make amends, and they're going there to show people where does Guyana Rugby belong.
The sponsors in attendance were Citizens Bank, Mings Automotive and Repairs, Bihari Group of Companies and the GOA. However, the charge from Green to the players was very simple.
My team, bring it home. Thank you.
Guyana Jaguars will miss 3 key players for this weekend's third round match against Barbados in the WICB's Professional Cricket League at the National Stadium. The hosts are hunting a third consecutive win, as we hear from Afanash Ramzan.
The left-handed trio, Shivnarine Chandapal, Leon Johnson and Asad Furuddin, will join the West Indies team heading to South Africa for the upcoming series, as they have been replaced by openers Shimron Hettimaya and Tejnarine Chandapal and fast bowler Kian Joseph, according to a usually reliable source. The game will start on Friday at the Guyana National Stadium and run until Monday. Head coach of the Guyana Jaguars, Isan Crandon, says he is confident the replacement players will pull their weight and help the team to achieve a third win on the trot. The Guyana Jaguars are fresh off beating the Leeward Islands by an innings and the Windward Islands Volcanoes by 92 runs. After 2 rounds, the points standing is Guyana Jaguars 34, TNT Red Force 20, Jamaica 19, Barbados 12, the Leeward Islands 6 and the Windward Islands Volcanoes on 4. To date, the Albion pair, Narsingh Deonaraine and Versamy Permaul, have been the outstanding performers for the Guyana Jaguars, posting consistent performances with bat and ball. The left-handed Deonaraine has stroked 200s in as many games, while also picking up a 5-wicket haul, while Permaul has bagged 16 wickets so far, including a career-best 8 for 36 to destroy the Windward Islands Volcanoes batting on the final day of round 2.
And finally, several teams chalked up victories on Tuesday evening when action in the Guinness Greatest in the Streets football tournament continued in front of a large crowd at the National Cultural Centre, Tarmac. Here is more from Tristan Joseph.
After upsetting defending champions Queen Street Tiger Bay on Sunday, Westfront Road dominated Charlestown with a 4-1 victory. Randolph Wagner scored in the 9th minute to get the ball rolling for Westfront Road, while Michael Pedro scored 1 minute later to make the score 2-0. Charlestown's Sherwin Cadogan scored in the 16th minute to pull the game back to 1 before Wagner answered in the 22nd minute. Darren Benjamin sealed the deal with a goal in the 25th minute. Festival City Street Fighters made easy work of Castello Housing Scheme 3-0 with all their goals coming in quick succession. Odell Williams opened the scoring in the 15th minute, while Jermaine Fletcher and Jermaine Tinch found the back of the net in the 17th and 20th minutes respectively to cop off the easy win. South Sophia hammered Stevie Door Housing Scheme A 4-0. It did not take long for the scoring barrage to start as Ryan Oselmo opened the scoring in the 4th minute, while Dwayne Lowe notched a goal in the 12th minute and Akeem Jaikesoon in the 14th to make the score 3-0. Lowe would score again in the 20th minute to end the game. In other results, Festival City Warriors top Islands All-Star 3-0, Broad Street Needle South Rumvelt 1-0, Albistown A top Durban Street 2-0, Sparta Boss defeated Ben Street 1-0, and West Back Road defeated North Rumvelt 4-3 on penalty kicks.
And that has brought us to the end of the evening news for today, Wednesday, November 26, 2014. Please remember to get a copy of tomorrow's edition of the Ghana Times newspaper for the details of these stories and other news. I'm Petali Santos. Thank you for joining us.